Let us start our today's session. As we have discussed in previous sessions, SAP TM basically SAP TM follows these two scenarios, either a shipper or LSP. So the company who is planning to implement TM in their business processes is either a shipper or a LSP. He has to follow either a shipper process or a LSP process. Thumb rule being, if you are the manufacturer of the goods or you are the owner of your products, you are taking you are the one taking the taking the transport taking the you are the one who is basically looking behind transportation of your products. Then yes, you should follow shipper scenarios. If if you're uh, if you are the a courier company or a freight forwarder like DHL, Merck's, TNT, then you should follow the LSP scenarios. So quick recap of both of the scenarios is um, in LSP scenario.
Sandeep, sorry for the interruption. Dhyan Garg here. Actually, I'm working in SAP SDN and a couple of experience I have in ECC. So, some BT01 and some part we are covering through ECC. Then what is the big difference? Why the company should go for the transportation? The manufacturing also deal in the some part they are covering through ECC also.
Yeah.
Then why should the company should go yeah?
Actually, we discussed this in detail in last session. Basically,
this is the demo session we are expecting today only. Yes, Sandeep, please carry on, Sandeep.
Yeah. Basically, LETRA is already there in ECC.
Okay.
What happens in LETRA is there are in TM specifically, your sales orders and deliveries are integrated. So planning for your freight is much more flexible and advanced as compared to LETRA. Then what happens in pricing? You can integrate with maps, GIS components. You can basically you can if you are a if you are a manufacturer and you are sending your goods to your customers, basically LETRA just captures the transportation price and keeps it into the accounts. But where TM helps is, if you are a shipper and sending your goods to your carrier, sending your goods to your customers, you can track the actual cost that is incurred while transportation, while transporting the goods. When this cost is captured, what you can actually derive what is the change on my MAP that is happened for this transport. For every single transport, you can track the changes for your product. So LETRA just captures the cost and keeps it, but one of the benefits of TM is you can track it to the MAP level also. For every freight, when you are doing a import, when you are doing a say import cycle from your customer, from your vendor, then on the sales side, you can capture the profitability. Means capture the profitability for every sales that you have done to your customer, which will include your transportation costs also. LETRA doesn't go still profitability segment.
Yeah, Sandeep, can I take it in that way? This LETRA doesn't have that intelligence to choose the best possible carrier from the cost perspective. Okay, and
Yes.
in SAP TM does have that intelligence through optimization cockpit.
Yes.
Okay, that it can give you the best possible carrier and the best route.
Correct.
I mean the
Best possible
transportation led.
carrier,
Yes.
best route in route. I'll specify. I mean, to be more precise, we can say optimum route.
Optimum route. Yes, that intelligence doesn't have in LETRA.
Yeah. Um, so coming back to our scenarios, I'll quickly go through the scenarios once. In a shipper scenario, the process starts with the sales order. The sales order is then get integrated in TM. It creates a OTR document. OTR is then used for planning. In planning, we create a freight unit, a freight order, or a freight booking, and each step can be integrated back with ECC, and we create a settlement document. Settlement while paying your carrier. So when a settlement document is created for accounting purpose, it is sent into POECS. As TM doesn't have any accounting functionality, accounting is primarily uh, ECC's area. So all the numbers are generated from TM, and mm, posting happens in ECC side. Similarly, in a LSP scenario, the process is triggered from TM. The triggering point is TM system itself. It creates a forwarding order. A forwarding order then comes into planning. We create a freight unit and a freight order, and goes into settlement. Settlement with your carrier. At the same time, a forwarding order is going for a settlement with your customer, which will create a billing document in ECC side. It creates directly a billing document, and goes into your uh, goes into the goes into a customer accounting, and hits all COPA accounts and profitability accounts. So just to keep in mind, the triggering points are different. Rest of the scenarios are almost the same. In both the scenarios, the rest of the steps are same. Only thing is the triggering points are differing, and your in customer settlement doesn't happen in shipper scenario. In LSP scenario, customer settlement happens. So just to this is also from the previous discussion. These are some of the abbreviations that we will be frequently using, like OTR, DTR, FU, FO, FB, and uh, uh, just keep a track of it. Make a note of these abbreviations, because everybody in TM world will talk in only in abbreviations. So, um, so this is quite a helpful slide. Uh, I suggest you take a note of this, that what are the abbreviations, what is FWSD, what is FSD, what is FA. So now this was a quick recap for last week's discussion. For today, we'll start our discussion from sorry, we'll start our discussion from FCL and LCL. So what in TM world, there are two types of loads possible. Either a load is a FTL or a LCL. So whenever a truck, whenever whenever a cargo, a general cargo is moving, uh, a general cargo or piece or a small parcel is moving in a truck with other shippers cargo, means other from uh, combined with other shippers cargo, it is a less than truckload, LTL. When you are using a full truck, means a complete truck you are using with only cargo from only one single shipper, it is always a FTL scenario. FTL and LTL are the terminology used primarily in road scenarios. Um, and when similarly goes with the container, um, these are primarily used in ocean shipments or rail shipments, means ocean and rail scenarios, this terminology. Um, when a full container is booked uh, by the shipper, uh, it is basically it is called as FCL. And when there is a consolidation happening in the container at um, the freight forwarder, or there are multiple uh, shippers, shipper 1, shipper 2, shipper 3, or their freights are moving in one single container, then it is called as a LCL scenario. So you can we can broadly classify it as uh, uh, a buyer's consolidation uh, is used in FCL, and a shipper's consolidation are used in LCL. Mm, similar, similar. What we have explained is in this diagram that less than truckload, when there are multiple shippers uh, on a truck, goods from multiple shippers on a truck, it is a LTL. I'll wait for 2 minutes over here. Anybody has any questions regarding FCL and LCL?
Salim, I have a question just for the accuracy of the definition. Let's say we have a container and it's full completely, the capacity is full, and it belongs to different shippers. So we call it full container load if it belongs to different shippers.
Can you come again? Can you come again? Sorry, please.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Can you come again, please? I missed the middle part of your question.
Okay, so my question is: so let's say we have a container and it's completely full, but it belongs to different shippers. So in this case, it's full container load or less than container load.
Okay, okay. That's a good question. I will explain it on the Excel. It will be better.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Suppose this is a shipper 1, shipper 2. Oh, sorry. Shipper 3. If they have TM in their business process, then for this shipper, it is LTL, because he's just giving, suppose, one parcel.
Okay.
If he has also, he'll say LCL. If he has, he'll say LCL. Because they are not utilizing the entire capacity of that container. They are just containers are basically sold with the space. Means, yeah. So since they are not utilizing the entire capacity, it is LCL for these shippers. What now they give this to a LSP.
Okay.
And LSP suppose has TM in it. LSP has TM installed in this. What LSP will do is, suppose if these three shippers if these three shippers are combined into one container, and then the container is full, so what he'll say is he is FCL.
Okay, thank you. Now I see.
So this is a difference between FCL and LCL.
Yeah, thank you.
We will actually use this in today's training. We have something for house bill of lading and bill of lading. So this concept we will use there also. So anybody has any further questions?
So for LTL, it would be only, I mean, single mode of transport and single means of transport, or it can be multi-mode.
For LCL and FTL, sorry, for LCL, less than truckload. Truckloads are basically for trucks. So in general, it is used for truck means of truck mode of transport.
Yeah.
But it's not a thumb rule. It's just how the terminology is used. Basically, LTL and LCL are generally the same thing. So LTL and FCL in TM term in SAP TM world, it is almost the same. Because containers can also be loaded onto a truck and then truck can move. So you can say in that sense it's a LCL, right? Are you getting my point?
Yeah, my question was that it has to be a single means of transport and single mode of transport, or it could be multi-mode.
It can be multimodal.
Okay.
It can be multimodal. Yeah. See, what happens is as we go ahead in this today's discussion, we'll see what are the type of shipments or what are the type of movements that we have. So it will become more clearer to you. So I'll move ahead now. I hope everybody is clear with FCL and LTL.
Sandeep, my understanding here is like it should not applicable only for trucks. It can be applicable or other the goods are moving through ships or airplanes. There also these two standards should be applicable, is it? No?
Yes, yes. Only thing is what happens is when you are dealing with a mode of transport of ocean.
Okay.
Sorry. When you are dealing with mode of transport for sea, the terminology is used as LCL or container. Or when you are dealing with a mode of transport for air, the terminology is used as ULD instead of container. It's unit load. If you have seen in an aeroplane, the they have some tin box which is very oddly shaped. So those are not called as containers, but they are called as ULDs.
ULDs. Yeah, okay. Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah. But means it's not restricted. You can. It's just a nomenclature. That how do you want to simplify it? So moving ahead, this is the main of today's discussion. These are movement types or movements that happens through TM. For a moment, just don't think about SAP TM. Just think about transport as a movement or in a day-to-day business. So these are the terminology that is used in general general transportation world. A direct shipment means when the goods, there are primarily 5 kind of movements that happens when say starting from direct movement, when a truck is moving with from one shipper directly to the consignee without without any without any stoppages at any other shipper. It is just going from one point to another point from shipper to consignee directly. Then it is called as direct move or direct leg. Generally, in LTL moves are happens through direct shipment. As the capacity of the container is already full, and you cannot by definition it's full container load. So what happens is in direct shipment it goes from a shipper to a consignee. So the direct shipment of an order of the direct shipment is an order for a cargo that is moving directly from the origin to the destination. Typically it happens only it happens in full truckload scenarios. Then the second is unimodal network shipment, or you can say unimodal means it goes from say it consolidates uh, ship it consolidates the freight from various carriers, various shippers, say shipper A, shipper B. It comes to a transit facility. In transit facility, it is consolidated in one single shipment, and the shipment moves from one facility to other facility, and then distributes it to the consignees. This is basically uh, unimodal kind of scenario. These shipments are moved from single mode of transport, usually road. Basically, it gathers means it gathers shipment from all the shippers that are located in suppose one area. Say in Georgia, in um, uh, in Georgia, you go from you pick up parcels from from your customers, consolidate into a consolidate them into one container in your facility, that is in a freight station, and consolidate them into one single consolidate them into one single container and uh, move it across that container move across to the consignees. So this is unimodal. Unimodal point here is unimodal basically refers to only one type of mode. If it is happening on truck, then entire leg is happening on truck. All the legs will happen on the truck mode. If it is happening on rail, entire leg will happen on the rail. So that's why rail cannot go everywhere and truck can. So that's why unimodals are generally related to truck transport. Clear till here? Any questions?
So Sandeep, so basically these are all the scenarios that the software can perform.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, these are the scenarios software can perform. Each of the leg, each of I'll explain one more terminology. If you can see, here is a pre-carriage. There is something called pre-carriage, main carriage, pickup, dryage. These are the terminologies that are used in TM in the software. These are this specifies what leg it is representing. So I'll just explain this in Okay, I'll not explain it right away. We have that slide once we go ahead in today's discussion.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sandeep, like we are defining the, like if it is like interrelated with ECC, like ECC, we are defining the roots and these things. So in S4HANA also, like it is sync only, is it with the ECC?
Roots. If I understand you correctly, you are asking that with the roots that we use in ECC,
yeah,
are the same that is used in S4HANA, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. If you are utilizing TM, embedded TM in S4HANA, then the roots that you define are a bit different. These are not the same roots that is defined in your standard ECC box. Um, Here in TM, we call it as a transportation network, and the routes are defined in that transportation network. So those are not that SPRO configuration that we do in SD. It's a master data that is maintained in TM when you are utilizing uh, SAP TM embedded product.
Okay, Sandeep. Yeah, got your point.
Yeah. So then the third one, sorry. Then the third one is multimodal. Multimodal shipment. Multimodal, by definition, we can see that it means multiple modes of transports are used in it. So it can be road, ocean, road, rail, rail, air, road, any combination where multiple are used, more than two, more than one. Sorry, it can be there can be in scenarios sometimes it can be road, ocean, air, and then again road. So it's also false. There are three types of mode of transport is used. This is also called as a multimodal shipment. So here typically what happens is um,
Sandeep, I have
yeah.
one question is that like in S4 HANA, let's say sales order, delivery, then FU gets created. Okay.
Correct.
So in the delivery or order, whatever the route would be there, the way in ECC route gets created, the same kind of route uh, would be there in sales order and delivery, right? In TM, that would be the route master, that the way through, I mean, two locations gets connected, transportation lane or default route, that TM terminology. But here in delivery, the route which we use in S4 HANA, it would be like the way in ECC we generally create the route, right? Or it's a
Correct.
different like.
Okay. Basically, if you're utilizing TM,
Yeah.
irrespective of embedded or non-embedded,
Mhm.
if you're utilizing TM, then no need of creating routes in ECC.
No, I'm talking
Because
about, let's say it's
anyways,
an S4 HANA, the TM is there. Okay. TM will be used, let's say. So before that, the source documents are, let's say, sales order or delivery. So there would be a route, right? Those route is the TM route, or it would be like the HANA route, like
okay.
ECC route.
No, those are ECC routes, and
Okay.
those fields doesn't impact. Okay, those are yes, those are ECC routes, and if it's a embedded TM system, it is a single point in SPRO where you go and do the configuration.
So
But it only.
So in S4 HANA, so as far as route configuration is concerned, so in that case, like in ECC, you need to create a route, and again in the TM, you are creating route master as transportation lane or
Yeah,
default route.
yes, but you are duplicating your work
Right.
because of you because ECC routes will not be means the routes that are reflecting on your delivery document, that will not be at all useful in TM.
Right.
Yeah,
So you
so
have to do it, right?
there is no point in duplication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
But you need to create it in ECC
Uh,
plus TM.
it's yeah, it's up to you. Uh, it's up to the business. I have worked on a project where uh, they had ECC. Mm, wait, uh,
Yeah, Sandeep, but question here is like, if the route is maintained in ECC, then in HANA TM module, how the TM module like take it the ECC route in HANA system actually?
ECC routes are okay. ECC routes are not regarded in TM. TM has something called a transportation lane that is having a precedence. So let me explain. In one of my previous experiences, we had ECC 6 implemented in the business systems, and they had TM, but they did not purchase standalone TM box. They purchased S4 HANA embedded TM. Embedded TM. So in this ECC, whatever sales orders and delivery documents, they had route, but in TM we don't. The planning doesn't happens on the routes that are specified in ECC. Planning happens on the routes that are specified in TM. So in TM we called it as transportation lane, and for optimization, TM always recognizes this transportation lane. Um, so
Sandeep, basically routes are
is
not used
my
in TM,
example
right?
clear?
That's
Hmm?
so basically routes are not required in SAP TM. That's even if it is there in ECC, it's not really considered in
Yes,
any planning or any other thing, right?
nothing. That is a master. That is a data which even doesn't flows to TM. This route, what you defined in ECC, doesn't flows in TM. Mm. So, uh, so in multimodal, coming back to our discussion, in multimodal, there is a uh, in multimodal, your main leg is will take the precedence, and it is always called as ocean transport or air transport. For example, if you're going from, say, suppose uh, from New York to San Jose uh, or Phoenix to your friend's house. So basically, you are doing a multimodal transport. You are first taking a cab from your place to airport, then you are going from airport to airport, means from New York to say Phoenix airport or the destination airport, and from there you take another cab and go to your friend's place. So you don't, so you specify by the journey was from the main leg, that is you travel by air. So in multimodal transport, you always specify that uh, it's a travel by main leg. So suppose it's ocean or air. it doesn't regards pre-carriage or pre-carriage or on carriage or delivery stages. It regards the main stage. So what and then coming to port shipments. Here, if you see, the arrows have changed from straight line to a dotted line. That means this is to signify that uh, in a port to port scenario, system in a port to port scenario, your main leg is only regarded. That is only the concern for the carrier. The bringing the goods till the port is the responsibility of the shipper, and taking the goods from the port till consignee, it is the responsibility of the consignee. So in port to port movement, it is typically only the main carriage is responsible for the carrier. Generally, port to port are very few scenarios where I have seen in my experience, but people means business has used this port to port in their own convenience. In one of my previous experiences, the port to port delivery, port to port shipment was used, port to port movement type was used, but the concern was from port of loading till the consignee. It's just a example that it just I'm sharing my previous experience. It doesn't have to be every time this way, but this diagram represents what standard port to port movement represents. Is uh, is it clear? Then going on to the last slide, last moment, that is export. This is uh, uh, in this uh, a, a shipper actually when it is exporting the goods, uh, this is the moment is this moment is used. uh, you can specify that from shipper to it goes to a local station or to a CFS station. CFS is container freight station. Those are basically freight forwarder stations that operated by freight forwarders, and till port it goes. So every export movement specifies the responsibility of the shipper is till the goods are loaded onto that ship. Once the ship sails, the responsibility lies with the consignee. So to emphasize, the in the export scenario, the responsibility of the goods only till the ship sails. After that, it's a responsibility of the consignee. So we just
Sandeep, isn't it like this depends, this responsibility or transfer of responsibility depends on the Incoterms?
yes.
So
So actually, they now I'm talking about SAP TM system. Based on this moment types, based on the Incoterms, your moment type, you can determine what are the moment types that is used. Uh, it's a configuration that is available, but in my practical use, no project, no customer basically uh, uh, in TM, basically based on your Incoterm, uh, your moment type is determined. It's a configuration available in SPRO. I hope everybody is with me so far. Mm, Hello.
Sandeep, the
Yeah.
same point about it. So, but this concept of this Incoterm,
Mhm.
how does it really impact the planning and the pricing and those parts, right? So Incoterm is more or is it's a kind of agreement between the buyer and the seller, right? Like
Correct.
about the responsibility part, but how does it really impact the TM planning? Yeah, where we exactly do not need to know who is responsible for at what point of time for the goods.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Okay.
really getting the relevance of Incoterm in SAP TM.
Um, okay. It has these. Okay. Uh, Sometimes, based on Incoterms, your freight is decided. So,
Okay.
yeah. So what happens is, if I'm using a Incoterms, I'll move just quickly to one slide where we'll discuss this. Yeah, this is the Incoterms slide I was referring to. So based on the Incoterms, the freights are the cost of goods or the freight, who will bear the freight is decided. So if I'm using X works, only till export packing, seller is responsible. So so rest of all the costs, that is cost of shipping, cost of insurance, any other cost is bared by the buyer. So Incoterms has a relevance in pricing, but at the time of negotiation of contract, you already take into consideration uh, what is the what is the value, what is the contract amount, and what will be the Incoterms that you have. So there is no direct impact, but yes, TM has a facility of utilizing uh, Incoterms as a parameter that impacts on your pricing. Are you getting my
Okay.
point?
Yeah, I got your point. Yeah, I think this slide makes sense. And the only thing is, in case if, for example, if it is X was, so there
Mhm.
the charges of the truck or the sea freight or whatever that is paid by the
Mm.
buyer directly to
Yes,
the forwarder, to the freight forwarder. And in other
yes,
cases like CPT, there I think, and the only thing is, if I am the shipper and if I am doing X works, then I really need not to calculate any price, any freight in my system in SAP TM, right? Because
yes,
anyways, I'm not really responsible for the payment of the charges. It's the buyer.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So means uh, now I'm again going to my previous one of the examples. Uh, Suppose from Singapore, the goods are selling to say South Africa. If now seller, the example was, if it's going through Xworks, EXW, the price was suppose only say 500. Price of the product was 500. If it is going through CIF, then the price would include the uh, insurance cost also. So the product, then the price changed to, for the same product, between the same shipper and consignee, you can influence on the price with respect to your Incoterms. Mm, Now going back to our presentation, to the point. Uh, Clear till here? I'll just go through the sentence that um, multimodal networks, it is very commonly used type, and cargo is often moved from a consolidated way. That is, cargo is locally picked up by the truck, transferred to a local CFS, and from local CFS, it is then shipped onto a airport or a vessel, uh, shipped onto a truck or vessel. So uh, in multimodal, consolidation and deconsolidation is also a process that happens. The carrier moves the consolidated cargo through the main leg, and the deconsolidation happens again at the consignee. So in multimodal, uh, that is why we have a significance of CFS, uh, where uh, the, the cargoes from multiple shippers are consolidated in CFS, transported in one single transport or one single transport, and again deconsolidated at the discharge CFS, at the uh, receiving point of receiving port DFS CFS. Uh, then port to port shipment we have seen. Uh, it basically happens in FCL scenarios where carrier take the full container load, um, at the and it goes through the leg. Once the carrier arrives, then a release notification or a delivery notification is sent to the consignee that that your product has arrived, and you have to come and pick it up. So it is only between port and port. Then the export shipment, where the responsibility lies with the shipper till the ship sails. Once the ship sails, your uh, responsibility changes. Now the responsibility changes. That means the ownership of the goods also changes. It changes to consignee, and now the responsibility lies with the consignee to take it to pay the customs duty, to uh, clear the customs, and arrange for the transport from the port to his premises. Um, we'll again go back to that slide. Any questions still here? I'll just take a pause of 2 minutes. I'll have some water, and if you have any questions, you can have. Clear till so far?
Sandeep, one, I think maybe this question is not really relevant here, but the only thing is that this multimodal transport, we may have different vendors, right? For example, a trucking company is different, and then container freight station is different, and then for ocean it is Marks.
Yes.
Right? So there are different vendors involved in between.
Correct.
So the price which, or maybe the complete price which gets consolidated, how that part happens, how that pricing for different vendors is calculated separately, separate documents are created, and then the invoices are received from from these different vendors. How that part happens really, I think that's
Okay. What happens is, I'm typically talking of a LSP scenario now. I'll go back to my Excel. I'm typically talking about a scenario where suppose a company like DHL, they have uh, DHL, they have TM in their process. Hmm? So if they are using a multimodal say transport, between say port, say how can I explain it? Can we park this question for some time and come back at the end? I'm not able to articulate the answer right now.
no problem. We can do it, but maybe at the end, I would like to understand more from the shipper perspective rather than from the LSP perspective.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Sandeep, like the pricing, we are maintaining like ECC some conditions records, we are maintaining condition types, access sequence like that. In TM also, like we are following the same thing in for pricing.
Yes, we have something equivalent to access sequence and condition type.
Okay.
I don't want to jump too far
Okay, okay.
ahead. That's why I'm not
Yeah,
giving
so
you.
for a curiosity, I'm just asking, like.
Yeah. We have something which is similar to access sequence, which is similar to condition type.
Okay, sir.
So yeah. So we have gone through uh, what are the moment types, and we have encountered the terminologies called pickup, pre-carriage. We have encountered terminology like main carriage, on carriage, dryage, and haulage. So let me explain every term. If I explain it with the diagram, it is more convenient. So that's why I wanted this. So if this is a customer who is basically uh, uh, who is who goes to DHL, says DHL, okay, uh, take ship this one container, from my facility to the consignee's facility. Hmm? So what DHL does is it sends a truck, picks those container. Now this leg where DHL has come to this shipper and picked up the uh, container is called as pickup. Hmm? Now what DHL does is it um, now in its facility again, um, in its facility he it arrives at a CFS. CFS is nothing but container freight station, where the cargo is consolidated from various shippers, and it sends its cargo is consolidated from different yeah, from different shippers, and then it goes to port for sale, for uh, gives it to port for the main carriage. So this is called as main carriage. Hmm. Now at main carriage, it again in the at the port of loading, they do a deconsolidation, and DHL gives goes to the customer and gives it to the goes to the consignee and deliver this product to the consignee.
I'll just explain the pickup, pre-carriage, main carriage, dryage on this one. I'll not bore you with the PPT, drawing of PPT. So pickup is generally a pickup is from a shipper's location. It comes to a CFS, or sometimes from one pickup it goes to a local station, and from local station it goes to the CFS or the port. So this is the starting point for our transport. So it is called as pickup. Stage 1 is called as pickup. Stage 2 is called as a pre-carriage. So generally, in my practical experiences, I've very rarely seen a pre-carriage movement, but pickup is generally the one that I've seen regularly. Then from a port of loading to a port of destination, it is always a main leg. So that is the third leg that we have. It's called as a main leg. It's always between the source location and destination. It's always between a port to port. In a direct shipment, main leg is between shipper and consignee. Then you have something called as dryage. That means from a CFS station, it goes till the in the port till the vessel, or till the in the premises of the, it goes till in the premises of the port. Then it is directly unloaded onto the carrier itself. It's called as dryage. Then there is a then similar dryage movement happens at the port of destination. That is, it is unloaded from the main carrier or from the main leg. It is unloaded to the CFS, and from CFS now from CFS it goes to a local station, and from local station to a consignee. Or in case of FCLs, it can directly from CFS, it can goes to a consignee. So when it is going from a CFS to a local station, it is called as on carriage, and when it is going from local station to deliver to the final consignee, it is called as delivery. So I'm so sorry. So typically, I'll stop my sharing for 1 minute. I just open one Excel and will share my screen once again. So so we have a stage 1, which is pickup. We have a stage 2, which is I'll not consider the pre-carriage and pre-carriage and dryage legs. We call it as main leg. We have stage 3, which is delivery to the final consignee. So this is a typical, this is how typically, these are the terminologies used in your typical transport: pre-carriage, main carriage, pre-carriage, main carriage, and delivery. On carriage and pre-carriage are basically not so utilized, but they are good to know for the basics of transport system. Currently, we are not talking about SAP TM. We are just talking about the terminologies that is used in general transport. Is everybody clear till here? Any issues?
Sandeep, I have a question, please.
Yeah.
Regarding the stages in every scenario of what you are showing now, right now, in every scenario of the scenarios you've mentioned. So in order for the system TM to function, all the parties should work on the same system. So let's take a multimodal network shipment.
Correct.
All the parties, even the shipping company, should use the same system.
No, not necessary. They can have their
Okay.
own system. Yeah, they can have their own system. They can integrate with SAP TM.
Oh, okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah. So generally what happens in a shipping industry has their own system where they define schedules of the for their carriers. That means they define, suppose 3 days in a week, my ship will leave from Rotterdam to New Jersey port. So this system, they define a schedule in their system, and SAP TM, basically a custom interface can be developed where SAP TM pulls out that, gets that schedule from carrier system and then can be utilized. So
That's it.
it's not, yeah. So that's why I'm saying that we are not we are just looking what are the terminologies involved in transport management, and we are not talking of specifically to SAP TM.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and they are using different systems, but like the middleware using that to connect like the SAP and non-SAP, is it not like ECC or some other modules?
Okay.
It's like it's just some normal scenarios actually.
Yeah, normally in any normal scenarios, like connection between ECC and TM system is through PIPO. Any connection to SAP and non-SAP is also through PIPO. So the middleware is required. In one of my experiences, they were not using PIPO, they were utilizing web services. Some web service tool was there. So SAP used to send some, ECC used to send the sales order to TM system, but it was not coming through a standard PI. It was utilizing some web services. So a middleware is always required to talk between SAP systems or non-SAP.
Not always. It depends on the scenarios, like in which the conversion is happening actually, Sandeep. So in my companies also, like they are not using mostly like PIPO, so Informatica, Viva, like most of the things is happening. Thousands of interfaces are here. It depends company to company.
Yes, it depends company to company. Whatever is budget friendly or more suitable for the users, companies go for that kind of
Yes, Sandeep. True.
middleware or integrators or aggregators. Yes.
But then this EDI is not feasible with SAP TM. So for example, from SAP ECC, I send some data via EDI, via IDOC to TM. That
Actually
is,
in TM, actually in TM, IDOCs are not used. In TM, XML services are used. So there is no concept of IDOC in TM. There is a concept of XML services that is consumed. So typically in a now I'm talking about clearly talking about a scenario where ECC system is there and standalone TM system is there. A sales order is created in ECC. What happens is output is triggered from TRD0, and this output it basically triggers a XML service from ECC. It reaches TM. This service is consumed in TM and it creates a DTR. This we will see in detail once we reach order management topic. That should be next week or
Okay.
next
But this,
Saturday or Sunday.
yeah, but this standard output TRDO that already is provided by SAP to connect with a TM directly, right, from ECC.
Yes.
Right.
For sales
But,
order, it is called as TRDO.
Okay.
And for delivery, it is called as TRSO. And it creates a DTR.
But then we don't need the middleware, right, between ECC and then TM. You said PI is also there.
No, PI is required. We need to activate these services in PI. This XML service, we need to activate.
But when it is embedded, it's not required, right?
Something mostly like through non-SAP to SAP we are using PIPO.
Non-SAP to SAP, SAP to SAP also we can we have to use PIPO.
Because most of the scenarios like. And Sandeep, one more thing, like in one case, like we are using XML file, but if something is going outside from TM, there also like that time also we are using XML files only.
Yes. What happens is if in a typical scenario when a freight order or a freight booking has to be sent to say third-party system, say third-party systems, XML service is used. Through PI, this is sent through as a XML service. PIPO is required in SAP non-SAP communications also, and it is required in PIPO SAP to SAP communication. I'm generally talking about communication between ECC and TM. PI is required for ECC and TM communication. If something fails, you created a sales order, it triggered TRD0, but in TM side, it doesn't comes and doesn't create OTR, then you have to investigate, and you investigate in XML services.
But in embedded also it's required.
Embedded, no.
No. Yeah.
I'm talking of standalone TM systems. Embedded system, XML service is not required. We'll see this when we start our course for next order management. When we start order management, XML services are no longer required. In fact, TRD0, TRSO is also not required in embedded systems. But as a course, we will be considering both TM systems, embedded and non-embedded. So for non-embedded, it is 100% required. No, sorry, in the standalone TM system, it is 100% required. Clear till here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hello?
it's clear.
Yeah. So moving on to the pre-carriage, main carriage. Any questions? Pre-carriage, main carriage, on carriage.
Actually, so Sandeep, like Incoterms, we are also defining in ECC also, like the same we are considering in HANA TM module.
Yes. Here also same. Whatever Incoterms you have decided in your sales order or your delivery document, same is copied into ECC side. So once, because that is your actual sales document in a shipper scenario I'm talking about, because that is your actual document, that is all the changes that happens, all the changes are driven from your main document, and main document in this case, in a shipper scenario, is always a sales order or a delivery document. So irrespective of embedded or non-embedded system, if you are utilizing a shipper if you are falling under shipper scenarios, all your changes will be governed from your ECC side. Means ECC documents. That means sales order and delivery document.
Okay, Sandeep.
Yeah. So coming on to the next part, this is, as we've seen earlier, what is Incoterms, international commercial terms. It is defined by International Society for Commerce and Trade, and they have come up with the general terms, or they have come up with the general terms for governing or simplifying the trade between various countries. Means to come on a common ground, to get a common understanding of how the trade will work. So they have come up with the Incoterms. It's Incoterms basically is the abbreviation for international commercial terms. So they have various terms, out of which these 8 to 9 terms are very frequently used. There are, I guess, more than 15. I don't remember the exact number, but there are more number of terms that are available, more Incoterms that are available. But generally, these are used. If you Google Incoterms, you will find n number of diagrams explaining what each Incoterm is, where what is the responsibility of buyer, what is the responsibility of seller. There is specifically dedicated site by International Commerce also, which explains very clearly how Incoterms works. So this picture is actually taken from that site. Whenever you get time, it's a recommendation. Just go through it once at least. It helps in while doing your work in normal TM world, or in normal non-TM world also. Incoterms, it will be helpful for you. I don't want to go into details of it. It is if you have any doubts in any explanation or any confusion, you can go to that site also. Now this is I've frequently used the roles as shipper, consignees. What are these roles? What are the various roles that are used in transportation language? These same roles are also used in TM also, in SAP TM also. So what we are talking is ordering party. Who is ordering party? The party who orders the movement of the cargo is movement of the cargo is called as a ordering party. It generally, ordering party and shippers can be same, can be different. In case of huge corporations, these differ. Ordering party may be the head office, and shipper might be the local office of that head office. So there these all the ordering party and shipper party can be one role, or can be different party roles, different parties altogether. Then consignee is the one who is actually going to receive your cargo, or who is actually paying for that cargo also. So so in normal transportation world, consignee and shipper, these are the two most commonly used roles. Everybody in TM world will always say who is the consignee, who is the shipper, who is the consignee. Out of all the 4 or 5 party roles that we have, these two are the most important. Then invoicing party goes like the same. it can be the same as consignee, or it can be different from the consignee in cases of uh, the huge corporations. So invoicing party is basically whom the invoice is prepared for. Then comes the payment party. Payment party and invoicing party can be same or can be different based on the organization setup that we have. Then beneficiary of the cargo or cargo owner. During the CFS, during the Incoterms, the ownership of the cargo changes. So what happens is, if have you guys ever heard of a term called high sea sale?
Could you please repeat what the name?
Huh? Sorry, come again, please.
Yes, Sandeep, I heard about, like, when I worked in Dr. Reddy's, I heard that this high sea sales terminology there.
Yes. So basically, what happens is the goods are actually shipped. They are actually on the ship. They are transporting. They are during the voyage. The consignee of the goods sells the product to a third party. That means the ownership of the goods has changed from party A to party B. So in that case, the beneficiary of the cargo owners changes. So it happens during the voyage. That's why beneficiary cargo owner Incoterm terminology has come into picture. So this beneficiary of cargo and notifying party. Basically, whenever if we go to this slide, in the export shipment, when the responsibility of the consignee starts from the port of loading, here, as soon as the or in the port to port shipment, when the responsibility of the consignee starts at the port location, the carrier is the one who notifies to the consignee. He sends a notification or a delivery note that your cargo has arrived. So consignee and notifying party can be same, can be different if consignee is using a freight forwarder services. So this is the sixth party role, notifying party. So the party that needs to be notified at the on a certain shipment milestone, for example, arrive at the destination, is called as a notifying party. Not every terminology is used in SAP TM in practical world, but consignee and shipper, are two primarily used terminologies in SAP TM and in transportation world, both. Then who is importer, exporter, who is freight forwarder or carrier, and who is agreement party or contractual party. So these are again three major important roles. Three major important roles. Each one has its own significance. It is actually quite commonly used terms in practical world and day-to-day scenarios for a shipping liner or in transport world. So I'll not go into details much. Then I come to the last topic for the day, that is documents and documents that are more commonly used in TM. So MAWB and HAWB are nothing but your bill of lading. MAWB is an abbreviation of Master Airway Bill in case of air, and it is called as Master Bill of Lading, MAWB, in case of ocean transport. MAWB is basically between port of loading and port of destination. So, and HAWB This is also called as house way bill or house bill of lading. House airway bill is basically used when we are doing a air transport. So I wanted to explain this in more detail. So let me explain first, and then you can shoot your questions. So I'll go back to that one example that there is a shipper 1, shipper 2, shipper 3. They are utilizing LCL, LCL, LCL. And they are utilizing a service of say any freight forwarder. So who will issue what document? So once so every LCL is a house LCL. It will be independent BOL, that is bill of lading, that is house bill of lading, HBOL or HBL as we can say. So this is HBL1. Similarly, it will be 2 and 3. So MBL and HBL, after the cargo consolidation happens in a CFS station, after your custom inspection, a freight forwarder issues house bill of lading to the shipper. Clear till here? Any questions?
Yeah, it's clear, Sandeep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So after custom inspection in the CFS, the freight forwarder will issue this BOL to shippers. So it will be individual BOLs. Once it goes into the carrier, these all are clubbed into one single, suppose one single container, FCL. So carrier will issue one master BOL, or we call it as a MBOL. So one house bill of lading, so one master bill of lading will consist these three BOLs. So this is issued by the carrier to the freight forwarder, or to the shipper directly. Clear till here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now there is just one more point which I want to explain. If a shipper 4 comes, he gives a FCL to the freight forwarder. Then in this case, since you have already utilized the full container capacity, so in this case, your house bill of lading can be equal to master bill of lading, which is also issued by the, which is also communicated and circulated to carrier. Is this clear?
Sandeep, so it means the house bill of lading. So the cargo or the shipment what is transferred from the shipper to the freight forwarder.
Correct.
This is, and in case of bill of lading, so the cargo is what is transferred from the freight forwarder to the carrier. It's a proof.
It's a proof, yes, and it's a documentary proof that it contains what is in the cargo, what is the weight volume of the cargo, who is the exporter, who is the exporter, who is the consignee, what is the port of loading, what is port of destination. If you Google with Google say house bill of lading, you will find more details regarding to it. These are basically documentary and legal requirement. Before any ship sails, all the cargoes that are there on that ship, they should have a BOL and MBOL. It is also a legal requirement. I'm talking of import and export process now. If we are doing a proper import and export process, to issue the letter of credit, BOL is also a supporting document. It acts as a supporting document. Currently, I'm not talking about SAP TM. I'm just talking about transportation as an industry and the terminology used in transportation industry. Clear till here?
Sandeep, I need to focus on this one. Could you please repeat this for FCL, FF, HBL, and to Master Bull?
Yes. Hold on. I'll share one more slide if I have it. Let me stop sharing for 1 minute. I'll open one PPT if I have it. Let me know once you can see my screen. This should be more clearer. That's why I was searching through my files.
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah. Whenever a shipper is exporting, freight forward issues HBL to its to its carrier, to its shippers. Then it is issued by the freight forwarding to the shippers. MBL, which contains the list of HBLs into it, and it is issued by the carrier to the freight forwarder. So I hope this picture makes it more clearer to you guys.
It does.
Yeah. So so I'll move ahead. So these are a few points through MBL and HBL. That who issues the HBL. So HBL is house bill of lading, is issued by a freight forwarder to their customers. Customers are nothing but the shippers. MBL is master bill of lading, is also issued by a shipping liner, that is carrier, to the freight forwarder. Shipper will use the shipper will usually be the actual shipper on the HBL, but on the MBL, the shipper is usually the freight forwarder. More times, because shipping, because manufacturing companies means they utilize more often than not, they'll utilize the services of freight forwarding companies. So for master bill of lading, the shipper is usually the freight forwarder. So clear till here, guys? Now I'll go to SAP TM.
Just once go to that PPT, like MPL, HPL, just once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So like I have one question, like this HPL and APL, it's generating out of FO and FB.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. In that,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So like it's but this HPL or MBL, it's coming from freight forwarder system to SAP, right?
Yes.
But it's in SAP, it's generating out of F or FB document.
Okay. What happens is there are two processes given in TM. You can generate your house bill of lading, you draw the number from your system, from that is SAP TM system, and then circulate to your freight forwarder that this is the FB, this is the how this is the then circulate to your shippers that this is the house bill of lading. If TM is implemented in a freight forwarder systems,
Uh-huh.
then house bill of lading can be generated from SAP TM by the freight forwarder. That is, individual shippers, shipper 1, shipper 2, and shipper 3 will have 3 individual orders. That is 3 individual forwarding orders: FWO1, FW2, and FWO3.
Mhm.
I hope you understand what is a FW,
Right, right.
forwarding order.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So there, this number will be captured. Once a consolidation is done in the CFS and it is given to the carrier then creates a if carrier also has SAP TM in their system.
So it's
They
subcontracting to carrier. Okay.
correct. Now it can be subcontracting to the carrier. Carrier from their own system they generate a master bill of lading and they communicate to the freight forwarder that for this transport, for this container, this is the this is the master bill of lading. So one master bill of lading can consist multiple HBLs, and master bill of lading is generated from a freight order.
Okay, I got it.
Since
Yeah.
it is the actual traveling document, since it is um, since it is a freight forwarding document, right? Uh, that's why MBL is generated out of a freight order and HBLs are generated out of a forwarding order.
Perfect.
Yeah. Any questions? Because we are talking just purely in terms of terminologies of transportation world. We have not jumped into any of the TM specific documents or any TM specific SAP TM related specific stuff. We are just talking of in general how terminologies are utilized in TM world. Now we will be functioning in, now we will be jumping into SAP TM. I hope everybody is clear till here. We can go ahead. So now, till now, we have just seen what are the terminologies used in transport world. What is MBL, what is HBL, who is shipper, who is consignee, what are the main legs, what are the main legs, what are the Incoterms, and respected terminologies used in the transport world. Now we will see what is the functional areas in TM, SAP TM. Now I'll go into SAP TM. SAP TM has this 7 areas where it basically caters. It caters selling. Now this is irrespective of your shipper scenarios or LSP scenarios. Both of these scenarios, these are the areas that are touched upon. So it basically selling of your shipment process to your customers. This happens basically in your LSP scenarios, not that much in the shipper scenario. Then next process is planning and optimizing and optimizing and decision making. That happens in both LSP and shipper scenarios through transportation cockpit. Then transport execution. Execution means capturing of events, planning of capturing of any unseen event or unexpected events. That is also happening. That is also one of the functional areas. All these are captured onto your freight orders. So that's why it is called as transportation execution. The fourth one is subcontracting and transportation service. By subcontracting, I am talking more on carrier tendering and carrier selection. As we go along in this course, we will go into deep of every topic of tendering and carrier selection both. In SAP TM, it is called as subcontracting processes. And when you it comes under the umbrella of subcontracting processes, and there are two main branches to it. One is carrier selection, second is tendering. Then the fifth is the settlement. Settlement basically with your carriers, with your vendors, and with carriers and vendors when it is utilized in when it is utilizing either in LSP or in shipper scenarios. FSD means freight settlement document is always created. A settlement is always created in both of the scenarios, and the settlement with customers only is created when we are doing with customers. If you recollect the first slide of today's presentation, today's discussion, you can very clearly identify where is a customer is getting settled and when the carrier is getting settled. Then transport tracking, that is capturing all the events and giving notification or alert to your customers that your package is arriving on this date and that date. These are basically tracking facility available in TM, tracking functionality available in TM. Of course, it involves some integration part with EM, event management. Then the last and the most powerful is analytics and KPI. You can track your carrier performance, your customers' performance, your n number of KPIs you can track through your through SAP TM. It can build on Fury reports. Now, especially now, Fury reports are quite integrated with SAP TM. There is, of course, some coding is required, but you can create n number of reports, as many as capture every parameter of your transport, capture your money for capture a carrier's performance for a particular year or for a particular shipment areas of TM. So these are the main functional areas of TM. I hope everybody heard what I had to say regarding the functional areas. Then functional scope of TM. These are the terminologies that is used in TM, SAP TM. Business partners, your consignee, your shipper, your carriers are the business partners. Your contract agreement parties are the business partners. These are BPs created as a BPs in S4 side. In standalone TM, it is there is no customer and vendor. It only has BPs, business partner, as a concept. Then it has transportation network. Transportation network is basically transportation network is basically your uh, port of creation of your port of loading, creation of your transport lanes, creation of zones. These three points fall under transportation network. So when we go into master data, we can see in detail. Resource master, again, resources like truck, carrier. If I have my own fleet, I can create my own resource. So that's why resource master is there. Cargo masters. Cargo means what is there in the cargo. Are the goods valuable? Are the customs declaration is required? Or a DG, dangerous goods are there. So this falls under cargo. This falls under cargo master. And last but not the least is the price master. Price master is called as transportation charge management, TCM. It has its own set of data, and it's a huge topic in itself. So we'll see it in detail.
So you will be shown all those
Yeah, wait.
in NWBC or in Fiori?
For this 2020 system, it is there in Fiori.
Okay.
In standalone TM system or any private system till 1909, it's in NWBC.
Okay.
Basically,
So,
Fiori is just an extension of NWBC.
so training would be on 2020 or like 1909?
Because till 1909, it is there in Fiori. Then there are transactional data, that is transactional documents. We call it as order management. In order management, we have OTR, DTR, and FWO, means forwarding order. These three documents falls under order management. Then we have planning and consolidation. Planning and consolidation, basically when you are optimizing your route, optimizing your capacity of a container, uh, it falls under planning. Then cargo management processes, that is if a declaration is required, then customs declaration or a dangerous good declaration requires, it falls under cargo management. Then we have subcontracting and tendering. So this is tendering and carrier selection. That is the transactional data in TM. Then we have settlement processes, settlement with your customers and vendors. Then we have a few engines that are engines, or you can say as a business rule, that are helping to decide how we should do it. So in planning, we have planning and optimization engine that is utilized in transportation cockpit. Then we have charge calculation engine that is utilized in charge management. Then we have cargo master, and cargo master is a duplicate entry. Ignore it. And then we have a condition rule, that is based on certain conditions, how should system how should system behave. You can predetermine it. These are not ABAP codes. These are upfront BRF plus conditions that is utilized in TM. BRF plus means business BRF, business rule framework conditions. So as we go along, we'll see how this helps us in doing in achieving our objective. So I hope everybody has followed me till this point. This brings us to the end of our today's session. If you have any questions.
Sandeep, like in which version you are going to training us?
2020. S4 HANA Embedded TM 2020.
2020. And Sandeep, actually, you have a good exposure in like couple of experience. Also, you have like in SAP transportation module. In ECC, like in more frequently, like in 2 months or 3 months, we are expecting like P1 and P2 tickets. In like transportation module, how it is?
Sorry. Can you come again, please? And can you speak a bit louder also?
Yeah, Sandeep. Actually, like Sandeep in ECC, like in my project where I'm handling, here I'm expecting frequently, like in a 2 or 3 months, we are expecting P1 and P2 tickets. So, like, how it is in HANA?
Actually, to be very frank, I don't understand the difference between ECC and S4HANA.
No. I'm just asking like the tickets, like the priority of tickets, like the criticality of tickets. I'm asking like in ECC, like you are heard about as you are also a consultant. Like I'm just asking like the P1, P2, P3 tickets are we are generally working on like as a support consultant. In SAP like ECC, we are frequently like in a 2 or 3 months, like we are facing issues like POT1 tickets or POT2 tickets. Generally,
Okay,
like it's coming in a duration of like 2 or 3 months. So now how it is like in his transportation module in HANA?
if you are using air as a transport mode, your business is using air, then every support air ticket will be a P1 high priority ticket because the cargo is reaching to the destination in hours.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
It's like more complex then.
Yes, but mm, uh, I don't have much experience in support projects of TM, so that's why. But it's like general how we have in ECC. P1 P2 structure will be quite similar in TM also. But I've not experienced it. I don't have any experience in
Yeah, actually,
while.
like because like as you told, like there is no IDOC process in transportation module, and ECC like more frequently like P1 related to IDOC failure actually. So that's why I'm just
Yeah.
asking like if it is not IDOC is there, then
Yeah.
how the P1 tickets and comes
Okay.
in which area actually in PM module?
In here in TM, it does not utilizes IDOCs. There is no concept of IDOC. There is concept of
Okay.
XML services. So there is a
Okay.
just like in ECC, we have IDOC monitor in WE05, right? In
Yeah,
here, we
W05, correct.
have the same XML monitor under the transaction code SXMB underscore MONI, MONI.
Okay.
So as we open WE05 and put our IDOC number and we get what is the error. Similarly here, you open the XML monitor, you get your XML number and mm, search for the error. It, uh, it is the same
Okay,
way,
yeah,
only
got it, Sandeep. Yeah.
yeah, it is it's under the transaction code called SXMB underscore MONI, MONI. So
Sandeep,
yeah.
one question regarding this while we are speaking about this IDOC and XML files, yeah. So I think between SAP and SAP ECC and SAP TM, this XML service can be utilized. Both systems are. But in case if we have a scenario where SAP ECC is there and then we have the warehouse management activities done by 3PL by WMS system, yeah, and there currently we are connected via via this via IDOC part, and if we go in the direction of this embedded S4 HANA, right? So there also they do not have this EDI part, right? It will be via this XML only they can communicate to outside world, for example WMS or any other thing like that. So what, based on your experience, how do like how this transition happens, like from EDI to this XML? There also we have to now connect with all WMS systems, and what
Actually,
is
I'll share my example. I cannot. Uh, I'll share one of my experience. It was way back in 2014-15. I was working as a SD consultant back then, where we used to send our deliveries to a third-party system.
and that third-party system had SAP installed. They were on warehouse management. I don't know they were having EWM, but they were on SAP. The connection that was made was from delivery used to trigger a output that used to trigger a IDOC. That IDOC was getting processed through PI, and then it used to go to the external 3PL system. I think somewhere down the line, SAP with this new dimension modules. By new dimension modules, I am referring to the supply chain area of TM, or for I don't know about IBP and how those works, but somewhere down the line, SAP decided that they are going ahead, they are abolishing this IDOC structure and getting this XML XML services, because it is faster and you can send loads of data as compared to IDOC. Yes, you can send, but there is a limitation, I guess. But in XML, you can send the loads and loads of data onto it.
Yeah.
So I think
Sandeep,
somewhere SAP decided it.
yeah, no, that concept is clear that they have moved now to XML. But the question is how this transition will happen when, if you are implementing S4 HANA, and then you want to move, because your third party system or the WMS system is actually, they have their own system, right? They might be on SAP, they might be on JDA, they might be on some different systems, right? And that's where now we have to build a new interface, and they are so far supporting EDI. And now if you go in the direction of this XML, then
XML, basically what I have found out in throughout my experiences, what generally happens is whenever a XML is triggered from TM, through PI, it is actually getting stored as a text file in the recipient servers. So I'm not in a position to answer your question, but what I'm sharing is just my experience, that how we have communicated with the non-SAP systems.
okay.
So in this case also, like the PI is into coming to picture when the idea of the CDI is triggered from ECC to transportation module, then PI coming to picture, they will conversion the file and just send it to transportation module. Is it like that, Sandeep?
No. In whenever communication between ECC and TM is happening, it doesn't requires any IDOC. XML service is triggered from ECC side, that is consumed from ECC side, and that XML reaches TM and creates a order OTR document in TM. So in ECC and TM, XML service is only used. I'll once we go into the order management topic, I'll share the name of the XML service also, and once you have the access to it, I think you can go and explore the structure of that XML file.
Hello, Saurabh. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you mentioned that in 1909 TM is like accessible by Fiori. So in 2020 it is also the same.
Abhijit, can you repeat?
Yeah, actually, as you mentioned that in 1909 TM is accessible by Fiori apps.
NWBC.
NWBC, yeah. In 2020 it is
yeah,
the same.
but yeah, if you have Fiori, then it can be also accessible to Fiori also in 1909 also.
Okay.
But customers have to implement Fiori.
Okay, and in 2020?
In 2020, it is directly, I don't see NWBC in 2020. This is first time I've seen a 2020 system also. I don't see any NWBC. I can access directly through Fiori apps.